Oh, no, I don't. That's Bonnie and Clyde. I know Bonnie and Clyde.
Like, put the money in the bag, see?
Yeah, what's in the box, see?
Yeah.
Open it up. What are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Open the box up, eh? If you know, you know.
What's up, guys? If you have been following the Chevy LUV build, you already know what we're going to be doing next and probably know what's in this box. We had Max Peating Rods get a hold of us. We were already planning on putting a turbo in this truck, but Max Peating Rods got a hold of us and gave us a coupon code to get us a good deal on a turbo kit. We still had to pay for it, but they gave us a discount, so coupons are coupons. And they also gave us an affiliate link and a coupon code that we could give to you guys. You guys get 10% off if you're going to be buying anything from them. They do all kind of stuff from coilovers to turbo kits and even some tools and stuff. So if you're going to be getting something from them anyway, use our coupon code to get 10% off. So we're going to do an unboxing here. We're going to start with these small boxes, show you what these small boxes are, some cool parts we need, some supporting parts, and then we're going to open this box up. It's not specific to a Chevy LUV. It's not specific to our 1.8, so it's going to take some fabrication and stuff. So should be a pretty cool project. But this is the first time we've turboed fuel injected cars before. This will be the first time doing a blow through turbo kit. So we're going to be learning along with you guys. But we're going to start opening these boxes up and see what we got, lay some stuff out, and get a game plan on what we're going to do and what we're going to try to get done first. First box should be our blow-off valve. So this is our pipe and blow-off valve. This blow-off valve is from Amazon, but yeah, we've got a blow-off valve. So that should be everything we need there, including all the gaskets and vacuum lines. This is specific to our Weber. This is a Weber top hat. It's a blow-through top hat. They're not made to have like a coupler go to them. They're made for like a square air filter. But this is an adapter that bolts to our carburetor and then gives us a place to put a silicone coupler on so that we can send it into the intercooler and then back to the turbo. Then because we have to make our own manifold for this, which we're gonna try to use the stock manifold, we have it's a T3 T4 flame. We might have to do some modification to this too, because the way we're going to be setting it up, we might have to thread it and put studs in, just depending on the way our turbo is going to sit in there. Now for the main attraction here. I haven't even opened this up yet to look inside. I'm excited. A lot of cool stuff in here. I went with black pipe. Thought it'd be cool with that red. So let's get this box out first. Oh, it's heavy. That must be the turbo. Oh, what kind of stuff in here? Oh, it came with instructions. That'll make it easy. Some V-band flanges. Ooh, that's actually better than I expected, to be honest. What do you think, Scott?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Let's take it up there and get an idea of what we're gonna look like.
Oh man, it comes with a wastegate and everything already on it.
Yeah, that's the one I picked. They had some better options. This had a bigger compressor wheel than I wanted, just by a little bit, but it came with all this stuff on it, so it'll be fine. It doesn't look bad. I mean, for the price of these turbo kits, it's crazy how much you can get a charger for. Cool. Let's set it up in there and see how it looks.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be sick. So originally we were looking at trying to use our stock exhaust manifold, but
it was shaped really bad. We couldn't get the turbo to sit exactly where we wanted it to. So when we bought that used engine, it came with this header, which we weren't planning on using because we knew we were going to be doing this turbo setup. So this seemed to be the cheapest and most efficient option to get us a turbo manifold. What we're going to do with this is we're going to turn it into what's known as a log manifold. Basically, the cylinder 1 and 4 are connected to each other. You have one pipe that runs. It comes right out of cylinder 1, it makes a 90, runs right back to cylinder 4, and then you have where it just goes into the other 2 pipes. Basically, all we need off of this is the flange and some of the angles here that we're going to reuse to make the shape that we want, and then weld on a T3 or T4 flange that we bought from Amazon.
So my task for the day is to get this intercooler fitting behind the grill and trying to get the pipes up into the engine bay. Really close to fitting behind the grill with no cutting, but once you put couplers on it, the grill's just not gonna fit, and there's really no modifications we can do to the grill to make it fit. So we're gonna notch those out, and it should fit really good behind the grill. Shouldn't have any structural issues. I ended up having to notch behind the headlight only about 1/2 inch. It was actually really close to fitting the way it was. The grill does fit, so it'll give us that nice stock look, and you'll be able to just see the intercooler for the grill, which will end up looking really cool.
So we were impressed with the fitment of the top hat. It was really nice that everything lined up perfectly. We lucked out in their piping for our turbo can pretty much come straight off of that out to the intercooler and then back to the turbo. So there wasn't a whole lot of altering anything. After we unboxed the pieces, we noticed there was a lot of metal flakes, almost like the boogers you get from welding, the spatter. Definitely, if you decide to use our link for this kit, that's something that you for sure want to look at.
All right, well, that's it for day 1. We found that the header we're going to use looks like it's going to fit pretty good. We decided where we were going to sit the turbo.
I'm really happy with how that intercooler is sitting. I'm super happy that it's going to be a direct route from out of the turbo into the intercooler and then back to the top hat.
Tomorrow, hopefully, we can get this turbo mounted where it's going to live, and then once we know that, we can start clocking the turbo to get our lines facing the right direction and our inlet and outlet for the turbo facing the right direction, and get an idea of what our downpipe's going to look like. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. 13,000, I think. Good morning. We are here at the big shop today. What we got to do now is I'm going to get the grinder out, start shaping this up a little better, get these kind of lined up, get the edges cleaned up to where we can tack them. And then I need to take a hole saw or Christmas tree bit, whatever, put some holes in this pipe here.
More of that than you'd probably like ended up in your coffee.
It's okay. It's vitamins, nutrients, what a growing boy needs.
And then turn these into the U shape so that this will sit more like that on those pipes.
Yep, I like that. Good. It's the stuff that floats that'll get you. The stuff that sinks is fine. The things that float is the stuff that'll kill you. Those are like carcinogens or something. I don't know, I'm not a scientist. Put a couple welds on it, huh? I'm gonna throw a couple tacks on this side real quick, and then we'll look at where we're at. Okay, here's what we have so far. Let's go interview Scott and John to see what it's like in the day of a 5'8" Hercules and human bloodhound. Scott, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. What are you working on?
I'm working on a Hemi.
A Hemi?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this Hemi?
Needs a camshaft.
A camshaft?
Yeah.
Is that why you're in there?
That's why I'm all up in it.
You gotta come out the front.
I do. You have to pull the whole front end down. It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Getting your manifold done.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good.
It is looking good.
Yeah. Nathan, get a shot of what's going on in the next bay over. Look how cool that is. You guys aren't ready for that yet.
I wish I could do Scott's, your like National Geographic. You should do it. I was gonna interview John. You should just
David Attenborough.
Yeah, you should do it right now from here, like watching a John in his natural habitat.
Get a zoom in on John.
And here we have the grease monkey in his natural habitat, wondering what his next move will be. Hi, John.
He sees us.
And he notices us. And now his attention is off of the engine
I can tell
and on us.
what you're doing, but I can't hear you.
Let's go see what John's into today. What are you doing over here, grease monkey?
The most uninteresting job in the world.
Yeah.
The CVT on a Nissan Road.
A CVT is probably the most uninteresting car part.
I have nothing. It's just
Yeah.
It's just a CVT.
They go.
And then when I'm done with it, it's still gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's whatever.
They don't shift until they don't shift. Then you have to make them not shift again.
Yeah. Also, this was so close coming out of this hole with the intake and everything. I'm scared to move the engine, so I think I'm going to try to leave the engine in place, pick the transmission up, pull the transmission off, leave the transfer case on, hopefully.
On the transmission?
Nah, leave the transfer case on the engine.
Oh wow. You're gonna have two sets of splines to line up when you put it back together.
Done it before. I'm gonna try it again.
Okay. Oh yeah. Here. Have a mic. I'll go get the welder.
Nathan, this is why I was telling you I hate front wheel drive. Look at this. Your entire drivetrain is under your hood. I hate that. I hate the idea of that. I hate the weight distribution of that. It just makes sense for rear wheel drive for it to be elongated with the vehicle. And then you got this itty bitty little transfer case right here. Look what that is. Look how small that transfer case is. Compared to like that one they just pulled out of that truck. Yeah. It's probably like 30 pounds. Because even when something's front wheel drive, all wheel drive, usually the rear wheel drive portion of the all wheel drive system is not very good, not very strong. Don't buy front wheel drive, kids.
Now that we have this kind of locked in place, let's get this guy added in, and then we can weld this thing up. So close. I'm gonna take this over to the bench grinder and clean it up a little bit. I like it. Right there. I'm gonna do some cleaning with the grinder, clean up these edges, get some tack welds on it, and then we should be able to set this thing up and really weld it.
Scott is now filming.
Scott's filming? Oh, I get it. That's messed up, dude. Oh! Log manifold. Ooh. The welds are not great.
A bit of paint.
Yeah, I'd probably just gonna exhaust wrap it. It's gonna work good though. All right, let's see how it looks. We got a new manifold mounted. That manifold was not cheap, custom made. So let's see if our turbo is gonna fit under the hood with our new manifold setup. Oh, let's put a bolt in it.
That looks really silly.
I got a pocket full of bolts. I got a bolt in my pocket, but don't call me a. Isn't that the Andy? What was that show called?
It's Andy Malinakis.
Malinakis.
Got peas on my head, but don't call me a pea head.
Got baloney on my face, but don't call me a baloney face. It's really hard to get.
What's wrong with them hands? Do they fit down there?
I'm just really shaky. John's the one that's really good at getting bolts that are tricky to get to.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is I'm extra shaky. I'm extra, oh.
Didn't want that one anyway. This could go well enough that we don't pull it back off. Is that possible?
Dude, I don't think we should paint it. I think it looks awesome.
He tightened one in there.
Yeah, I kind of really like the way it looks like that.
Quickly rust.
Yeah, but it's gonna look sick.
Can we please pull the old gasket material off the manifold?
We're gonna have to pull it back off probably to do the oil and stuff. I don't imagine this is gonna be the last time we're putting it together.
Okay, well, we'll put it.
I was thinking maybe this is the last time that we're putting the turbo on the manifold. I only have 2 bolts long enough right now, so make it all the way through the other side. So we'll sit with me like that.
Well, yeah, once we get our clocking done, then we can figure out everything else.
So guys, we have our intercooler mounted and fit, and we have our top hat for our carburetor, our piping done. This piping here is going to be super easy. We just need like 1 or 2 bends. Got the turbo mounted. So from here, we just have to figure out some plumbing. We're gonna wrap our manifold, make our oil supply and our feed and our dump for our turbo. And she's gonna be boosting. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's it for episode 1. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Hopefully, she'll be burning the tires off.